Now it's being recorded. So you need to pick and choose. This is how these are the different three tiers. You need to pick and choose that how many suppliers I can afford, that how many subsystems I can carry on with, and up to how many component suppliers I can carry on with, right? So this is quite difficult when you are manufacturing a car, when you are designing a different innovative electrical or electronic products, and you are designing a jet fighter or a plane or a products or a services. Services are, of course, that's not being designed in the firms. Yes, the product side of the service or the tangible side of the service that can be designed, that can be time taking or the energy taking or the labor intensive. But the products, we are here concerned with the products majorly. So this is how the system gets complex overall, and you need to pick and choose. You need to choose with how many systems I can go with, how many subsystems I can carry with, and how many suppliers I can get with. So this is how this is quite complicated process, quite complicated subject. He's giving the Suzuki Maruti supply chain cases. That's it. So impact of internet on sourcing strategy. Probably this is the last topic with this chapter. Impact of internet on sourcing strategy. So how internet that made a life easy, and how does internet make a life of an auto assembler easy, or for a person or for a firm that is engaged in supply chain business or that's engaged in manufacturing or production business. So when the IT and internet, after the invention of IT and internet, so what are the benefits we have put? It lowered the search and evaluation cost. Of course, you can search your different products, right? You can evaluate the products. You can search for different suppliers. For example, when you're supposed to buy a new cell phone, how do you find the new cell phone? Again, let me mute all of you. There is distortion. Yeah, I have muted everything. Right. So when you are required to buy a new cell phone, so you do not visit, the different shops, the retail outlets. You simply go to the internet. You check on the different websites. You open up the GSM arena, and you can compare the specification of different cell phones. So internet that has made your process of buying very easy, very simple. Same is the case with the company that is engaged in manufacturing or production process, right? So it has lowers down the cost of evaluation and the search of different components. One auto assembler that can search for different components, that can search for different suppliers on the internet. So the cost of searching, the cost of evaluation, that is a bit lower. Number of suppliers. Are found easily. Again, simple. You can search the components, you can search the different suppliers, because every kind of company, every kind of business, every kind of firm has its own website, has its own Facebook pages, has its own Instagram pages, and its own the YouTube channels. So you can find many of the things online. Simple typing a word, the keywords in the Google, and you can search out. You can YouTube the things. So number of suppliers. All businesses, they are available on the internet, and you can find out those. You can interact with them. You can contact with them. So it is easy. Finding the suitable suppliers. Yes, whenever you write a certain component you need, internet that giving you 10 choices for a single product. The search results of Google are so powerful, and everyone is available over the internet. So you can find out the most suitable supplier. You can negotiate. For example, let it you are sitting in Pakistan, and you are going to buy something from Europe. Traditionally, you have to visit to Europe. You should have a meeting with him or her, with the company, and you should be discussing all these things, and you should be negotiating over the products and over the cost. Then you would be buying the subsystem, and you would be contracting and entering into agreement, and this is how you would start your working. But now most of the job that is done over the internet. You are sitting here, he is sitting there, you're using your cell phone, he is using your cell phone, and you are discussing all the things over the Zoom, over the WhatsApp, right? So you don't have to go there. After completing so many tasks, then finally you would meet up and you would sign your contract. Is this okay? It was simple.
Yes.
तो इंटरनेट ने सप्लाई चेन के बिजनेसेस को भी इस तरीके से आसान कर दिया है. And supply risk decreased. Suppliers, you have decreased suppliers because you have found out the more suppliers, you have found out the more suitable suppliers. So your supply risk, we were discussing in that matrix, supply risk on the y-axis. So you can reduce, you can control the supply risk also. Negotiation the cost, the 4 point. So the cost of negotiation is bit easy. You can negotiate the things, the basic negotiation of the internet. You might have visited MTM, you might have visited other textile companies and the merchandising department. What are they doing? I mean, they're sitting over the internet, they're finding different buyers over the internet, from the West, and they send them the pictures of their products, they send their specifications, they negotiate over the internet, all of the information that's being exchanged by email, by WhatsApp call or the video conferences, and they are agreeing over the terms and conditions, over the product specifications, over the design and innovation and everything. Then, finally, they give the consent and the production is being started and the consignment is being shipped to the destination. So all of these things are being performed sitting in your company with the laptop, right, using the internet and information technology. So this was the impact of internet on supply chain management, right?
Yes, sir.
This is how we have finished, chapter number 3 on, I'll find out the few important concepts regarding supply chain management in coming classes. So anything important, anything to discuss, you can. ठीक है भाई लोगों पे 12:15 हो गए, जुमे का टाइम हो रहा है, निकलें फिर, बस करें.
यस सर, ये बुक आप सेंड कर देंगे?
बुक मैं कहाँ से सेंड करूंगा
सर? वो पोर्टल पे आपने जो सेंड की है, ये वही बुक क्या है? ऑथर जो है,
ये बुक तो वही है. ये जो नोट्स ये जो नोट्स आपको नजर आ रहे हैं बुक के अंदर, ये
जी सर, ये
मैं आपको व्हाट्सएप कर देता हूँ. ये तो वो फाइल्स होती हैं, वो जो टॉपिक्स मैंने डिस्कस करने होते हैं, फिर उनकी वो स्कैन करके मैं ले आता हूँ आप लोगों को दिखाने के लिए. कुछ लोगों के पास बुक्स हैं, आप लोगों ने बुक नहीं खरीदी ना, ये लाइब्रेरी में बेताशा बुक्स पड़ी थी. चले, मैं इसकी फाइल को सेंड कर दूंगा आप लोगों के लिए.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर.
चले, थैंक यू वेरी मच जी. अल्लाह हाफिज, अपना ख्याल रखिए.
अल्लाह हाफिज. अल्लाह हाफिज.
अल्लाह हाफिज.
अल्लाह हाफिज.